Hmm. Robin, you first.
Hi, I'm Robin Rivard, the transition coordinator for the Hudson High School.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm the student,
An employee.
right, an employee of
Uh,
Craig Years.
I'm Ruthie Johnston, and I am the employer for Josh at Craig Gear and Machining.
Awesome. And I am Brenda Swoboda. I work for the Transition Improvement Grant, and I get the blessing of sharing a pretty inspiring employment story today. The really cool thing that I've learned about Josh is that Josh at one point didn't think employment was really a possibility for him. And with the support of the school district and a local employer, Ruthie at Croy Gear, that story is changing. And they're here to talk about their journey to employment today and share that with you. And hopefully you are as motivated and inspired as I was. So, all right, so Josh, we will start with you if that's okay.
Oh, sure.
Just to give us a little bit of background, and I'm going to start off with what do you find the best part about having a job? What is the best part?
The increased independence, actually. I can now do the stuff that I want and control the things that I want to control.
Ah, that's pretty powerful and empowering to feel that for yourself. So, fabulous. What about one of the things that I noticed that you had reflected on was your confidence has changed.
Oh yes, it has. Believe me. Yeah. At first, I was the shy, quiet one in the school, just wanting to blend in. And now I'm a bit more animated, you could say.
Fabulous. And what about, I noticed that you now earn a paycheck.
Yes.
How has that felt as a high school student to be making your own money?
Well, it's pretty interesting and pretty helpful, actually. Really helpful.
Do you remember anything, the first thing that you bought with your first paycheck?
Ooh, I bought a new pair of steel-toed shoes with my first paycheck, actually.
And I'm guessing you were
working at Craig.
Exactly.
A requirement for safety here.
Exactly.
What about socially on the job? What has that done for you?
Ooh.
Well, you got to meet a lot of people here.
Right, I have.
Yeah, and he does get invited to company outings that we have. He got invited to the Christmas party.
Right.
And he gets to anything that we have here, like dinners and stuff that we have for any of the employees and stuff. You get to come to those.
Yeah.
And what did you say Croy Gear feels like when you're working here?
It feels like basically an extended family.
Oh, and that is how jobs should feel, right?
Exactly.
So, all right. So a lot of students are, especially if they're graduating right now, or if they're that freshman, sophomore year, they're first starting to think about their job.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for students that are starting their journey? Or teachers too, I guess.
Don't let your doubts control your future, and if a teacher or parent offers help, just take it. It helps a lot.
That's really good advice. So thank you for sharing. And then did you find that you had any challenges on the job or any obstacles to overcome, and any advice or anything to share with that?
Well, at first I wanted to be in the background, basically blend in, to become the phantom of the workplace, but then I overcame my fear of speaking by being encouraged to push my own expectations and it helps when you have someone to anchor you.
Mm-hmm.
It really helps a lot.
Absolutely. That is great. And so I think we're going to move along to Robin now. And if you could, from the school perspective, just give us a little bit of background of what this journey from, hey, I don't think I'm going to work, to then competitive employment where you're going from part-time to, and that was the other thing, Josh, this summer you're moving to what?
Full-time, actually.
Full-time employment. So that's really exciting. So congratulations. So
thank you.
Robin, any background on the process or what happened to get here?
So I first met Josh. He was in my work-based learning class at school, and he was very shy and wanted to get away with not speaking a lot and, you know, being in the background.
Right.
And through that course, I really got to know him and what a great student and how much potential he had. And then I found out about a job at Croy Gear, and I actually called Ruthie, or I called HR here and wanted to meet with them, and I kind of explained the program. And I said, would you be willing to interview my student, which was Josh? They're like, sure, okay, we'll interview him. They brought in their manager and Ruthie, and they interviewed, and they were on the spot pretty much like, yeah, we want to hire Josh. And it's been nothing but positive interactions with this company since then. Like, it's been just better than I could have ever expected for a first-time employment, especially. Like,
right.
He's pretty lucky to have found this position.
The start of a wonderful relationship.
Yes.
And partnership too. So,
Lovely.
oh, sorry, Josh, did you have a question?
Oh, no, sorry.
What about resources? What did you utilize any resources along the way to help secure this employment or other employment opportunities?
Yeah, a lot of our other employment opportunities, we utilize DVR. I have a pretty close relationship with our counselor. We meet a couple times a month, probably for a half a day. Josh did meet with DVR for a little bit, but not for this position. We actually just utilized Ruthie, and her supervisors just had my direct line, and I would just give them pointers and tips that would help Josh be successful. And they've been so great to want to make sure that this works out, that they're very open to accommodating and modifying as needed. We did receive the Transition Improvement Grant, so that's also helped us to purchase a new van, which helps with students who don't drive yet to get to and from work if it's during the school day. That's helped a ton too. And I guess other resources, just our Hudson High School administration is very supportive of this program and ensuring all of our students through age 21 have the best possible outcomes that they can.
Amazing. So I think, Ruthie, we're going to move on to you, if that's okay. I guess maybe just a little bit of history, or have you noticed, was Josh the first high school student that you had worked with?
No, we've had other high school students, but we've not had anybody like Josh.
Okay.
I was definitely open to Josh. One of the things is Robin's a real advocate, and she shows up that way, which is awesome. She's a real asset to the program. But we were open to Josh immediately. And it's been so fun to watch Josh grow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't say that the people were like, okay, they were a little afraid of Josh to begin with because they didn't know, they've never dealt with Josh before, and it took training them as well as Josh. So it's been a real good growing process for our people too, so it's been learning on both sides. It's been awesome to watch that. Your relationship with Tim has grown incredibly.
Yeah.
Tim is a real kind person, his direct supervisor, but Tim had a learning process to learn about Josh too, so it's been really good relationship that's come out of that. So it's been good for everybody. I mean, even all the employees on the floor look for Josh. I mean, and he's always looked for in the office when he works with scanning. I mean, he comes and helps me learn how to run the copier to scan. So I mean, I go, okay, Josh, we worked yesterday on trying to get letterhead copied correctly. So we went through how many pieces of paper to do that?
I would say like 6 or 7.
Yeah. He helped me straighten that one out yesterday. So it was kind of fun. But he helps me all the time. I mean, so he's become very integral into our whole system here at Croy Gear. I mean, he's one of us. And so that's a big thing. But it's been fun to watch him grow from a fairly shy person that didn't speak to hardly anybody when he came to laughing and joking and being part of the whole crew. So it's been really fun to watch him grow. It's been really a great process to watch that and have him be part of us.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And now
And
you're going
what I think is the coolest is that, this summer Ruthie wants to do some job carving with some of her, and it was her idea. Like, it wasn't even my idea. And she probably doesn't even know what I'm talking about, but finding some other jobs for Josh to do to make this a more full-time employment possibility. And it's just amazing that she came up with that idea.
Yeah.
And it wasn't mine. Of course I would have approached her on it, but just great to have employers that are willing to do that and see that people with disabilities are very good employees.
Yeah,
And have strengths in areas that some other people don't. So we just need to capitalize on those.
And we're looking to take him outside of even the realms that he's in currently to see what more he can accomplish.
That's exciting, Josh.
Yeah, that
So
was really
full-time employment is the next step. And then before we log off for the day or end our conversation, any advice that any of you have for either other school districts when they're going out to talk to employers about hiring youth with disabilities, or even just starting that discussion of work-based learning, like job shadowing and internships? Any advice that you'd offer?
Take the opportunity.
Right.
It is an opportunity. It's an opportunity not only for the student, but for everybody in your company.
Yep. And would you, Ruthie, from an employer perspective, just say, make a phone call and ask us to sit down and talk about the options of how we could build a partnership? Or
I think it has to come from both sides, because I think what happens is employers get so stuck in what every day is happening to them, and they get so stuck in trying to keep up with just what's happening that they don't even think of those options. So what Rob and I see doing so much is trying to get out there and show people what the options are, that I think employers don't even know it's available to them. So I think it has to come from both sides.
Yep.
But I think thinking outside the box has to happen more often, and being willing to do that. I think people are afraid because they have to know all the outcomes and are afraid to take risk, but do it. It comes back 100 times fold.
well, on that note, I would like to thank all of you guys for your time and sharing your story to employment and starting a conversation that it's just kind of nice to have, and especially Ruthie, to have you come from the employer perspective and just encourage schools to reach out is important too. So, and Josh, I want to wish you the best of luck, and I hope you stay in touch with Robin so I can get updates with how things are going at Croy Gear in Hudson. So, all right.
I will.
Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Thank you, guys.